Hello and welcome to another audio commentary done by Luminous, and today once again we have Hobbs3 joining in. And Hobbs, a lot of people said they really liked our style commentating, that you bring something refreshing to the table, and they're probably tired of hearing Nebula once again. So nah, that was a joke. Nebula's a fan favorite as well. So today we have we're bringing you Tribal.France versus, I'm not sure what the other team is. Do you remember? Umbrella. There you go, Umbrella. You want to talk about these bans and picks real fast?
Okay, well, Tribal, they automatically ban Rashta and Broodmother. In other words, they're afraid of early pushing. And Nerubian Assassin, he got banned, even though he's not a very popular ban in 6.64. I guess they're afraid that they don't want just one hero out of the battle immediately, which is what Nerubian Assassin is capable of. And then we also have Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden, of course, everyone's favorite support hero with the Imba aura, which is another reason why they're afraid of early pushing, because Crystal Maiden just means spell spamming and just tear down the creep waves one by one. And also from Umbrella, we have Tai, just like a permaban hero in 6.64. Darkseer, also another permaban hero. And then Sven and then Ursa. Well, I'm not really sure why they banned Sven and Ursa. There are a lot more Imba heroes such as Razor. We have Medusa, but I'm not really sure what the strat is. But why don't you talk about the picks instead of the bans?
I'm not really sure why they banned Sven as well. But one thing I do like to point out is that a lot of teams ban regional heroes. And by regional heroes, I mean that a lot of heroes that we don't really see a lot of competitive plays, such as Dragonite, but he's basically permaban and first ban or first picked in places like Singapore. And if you play in like Northern America or Europe, when you first ban Dragonite, you say, what the hell, So it could be that, in France or in Finland, which is the Umbrella teams from, that Sven is a very popular hero. So that's why they banned that. But back into the picks, okay, Tribal goes for a very, very safe first pick. VS can be fit into a lot of strategy, whether it be ganking, pushing, or turtling. VS is one of really good heroes. And then you see right off the bat Furion and Pugna being picked. So that's going to reveal Scourge's pushing strat, or seemingly a push strat. I'm not sure exactly what they're going into. And you can see immediately Tribal.France counter with Earthshaker. Earthshaker is one of those best hero in terms of a counter push, stop pushing. Earthshaker is also a very gank hero, and with VS Earthshaker and Beastmaster in the mix, I'm gonna look for Sentinel going into a lot of heavy gank strats. And right off the bat, you see 4 stuns against Scourge's 0. So stunning in the stunning department, Sentinel definitely ahead. I'm looking for. I'm not sure what Scourge is trying to do, but at this point they're being outstunned, and that's not the way you want to go against a competitive team.
Right. Even in pub teams, everyone's always saying, get stunners, don't get any more carries. So
yeah.
Well, no, they got Lion now, and Lion's a stunner and a very good babysitter, kind of like Vengeful Spirit. And then they also have Queen of Pain. So Queen of Pain can pretty much control the map, kind of like Furion with the teleport. Because Queen of Pain can blink around, grab the runes, and just be all over the place with someone with good versatile hands.
Yeah, I'm not exactly too sure why Queen of Pain is picked, because Queen of Pain is one of those heroes that has faded out of popularity. Used to be really popular in 0.4 AB, 0.5x era, and nowadays she's not getting picked much. Not sure exactly what item she's gonna go for either. Usually Necro Book is a pretty safe, a fast hex, but again it comes down to a very, very stable. Queen of Pain, you have to have a really, really pro player playing that, because if Queen of Pain has a bad early game, she's gonna have a hard time catching up, and she really needs that hex stick or a Necro Book to give her the mana and HP that she desperately needs. And then you can see that Tribal.France goes for a very, very safe pick as well. Kunka could basically solo lanes extremely well. Even though the France team has 3 melee heroes, I always think that Kunka counts as a range because in the lane, Tie Hunter is or Tiebringer is such a hard skill to lane against, and
Yeah, definitely.
so I'm not too sure what Tribal in is going to round out with their last pick, but they're going to be up against a very unorthodox strategy. Lion's still a very good stunner, however, they're still down a lot in the stun department, especially with Kunka being picked, a Tiebringer, or not Tiebringer, a Torrent, a X, and a Ship. That's a lot more stun, a lot more burst damage. I'm not sure how a Scourge could cope with that.
Oh, and they picked Puck. Wow. So pretty much Puck is, like I said from earlier videos, that as a Kunka player myself, Ship is really hard to land, especially against good players. And with Puck, as soon as they dream core 3 or 4 heroes, they can't move, and even if they move, they're stunned, and then that just aims for, it's a setup for a perfect Ship.
Yeah, you can see that anti-mage is round out for the last pick, so not exactly too sure.
Anti-mage, okay.
Anti-mage doesn't counter any hero particularly in terms of in the Sentinel team, but if you look at the Scourge team, they do have a lot of vulnerability, not movement ability, whatever that word is. They could
Movability.
move ability. There you go. Thank you for correcting my English. There's a lot of blinking action going on, of course. Furion could give you the Mac packs in terms of global ganking, and Queen of Pain and Anti-Mage could very well blink around and do a lot of chasing and harassing. Not too sure what the laning's about. You see Queen of Pain. No, okay, thank God. I thought Queen of Pain was going to lane top with Anti-Mage. A very safe lane. It should be Lion and Anti-Mage bottom. And then I think you're giving the solo to Pugna, which not sure why. Queen of Pain is probably a better solo. With Sprout and the Nether Blast, Pugna and Furion's a good laning partner as well. So not sure why. Or maybe they're gonna dual middle. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe they're gonna jungle Furion. I see we see that two treants coming from the force of nature. So why don't you talk about the Scourge lanings?
The Scourge laning, we have Queen of Pain soloing top, as Queen of Pain really does need a solo because she needs to get her blink and her scream up as fast as possible. And then bottom lane we have Anti-Mage and then a Lion as a babysitter. And Anti-Mage is going to try to farm up and be the late game carry. And middle lane we have Pugna versus Rex, and Rex can tear down creep, but so can Pugna. So this is just going to be a real tug of war battle going on middle.
Well, Pugna have the innate advantage of being range, and you can see that he's controlling the lane relatively well. Whenever a Beastmaster goes in for a last hit, he could very well eat a Nether Blast. So I think Pugna will have the lane. But looking at top lane, I think Queen of Pain is going to have a lot of trouble. Right by himself, Kunka is already a beast to lane against, and with the VS constantly spamming nukes and terrors and things like that. So Queen of Pain, I'm gonna look for her to just be quite defensive. Meanwhile, looking at bottom lane, if the Scourge play their cards right, they could inevitably drain a lot of mana. You can see that Pug forcing the orb battle so early in the game. He's gonna get impelled, but should be okay. Yeah, if the line goes for mana drain and the anti-mage blinks in, they could just basically take out a hero's mana immediately. Not sure if he's gonna go that route. Probably gonna go Voodoo if that's a better skill. But just really interesting pick from the Scourge overall. Laning wise, I think the bottom lane should have the advantage to have more burst damage, more nuking ability. But again, it depends on how the players are playing it.
And they do have Furion as jungling, and he's using his train, as you can see in the Scourge forest, and so he'll be pretty much unharassed. I would think so, because if Queen of Pain, they have wards up at well, that's Tribal's wards, so never mind.
Yeah.
So actually, Vengeful Spirit is coming dangerously close to. Nope, he's going down the river, and he's probably just going to check for a rune, but rune is at bottom. It's a regeneration rune, a very important rune early game. And Rexar's Hawks spots it, so he's probably going to go down there and pick that up to make sure that Pugna doesn't get it. But Pugna is going to get it instead.
Pugna picks up a regen rune, so that's going to be horrible for Beastmaster. He had a Hawk there, but it doesn't matter. Can't get that rune.
Yeah, that's pretty much one of the best runes early game.
Yeah, I really like the Furion in jungle because, of course, any jungle hero could come out gang unsuspectedly, but especially with Furion with his free TP, he could just go absolutely anywhere on the whole map, and there's really no way to counter against that. But again, Scourge lacking the stunning ability compared to the Sentinel, so even if he TPs in lacking the stun, they probably won't be able to do that much.
Right. And as you can see, oh, Pugna decrepifying does another blast. Rexar is in 20% HP, but he summons the pig, and that's going to slow down Pugna, and he's gonna back off. And another thing about Pugna is he has really high early damage because his intelligence gain is already very high, and his starting intelligence is very high. As you can see, he does 57 to 65, and that's range.
Yeah.
So that's a very high damage. So he can harass very well. And Pugna,